And welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and thank you for tuning in. A warm welcome to our live viewing audience here on Facebook. Proud member of the Education Podcast Network, VoiceEd Radio Canada, wherever you are taking in your podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Happy holidays. You know, it truly is a wonderful time of the year. It is December 10th, 2025. And here in the Northeast, it snowed today, right? So after school, I went and visited the kids that are doing the Charlie Brown Christmas, right? The play is this Friday and Saturday here in Port Jervis, New York. And we go to take this little video of the kids. They're going to do a video invitation to the community. And it starts snowing, right? It starts snowing just in the background, just like in the play. And it was just the most beautiful thing. So happy to celebrate that today. And I'm happy to celebrate today's guest. Allyson Apsey is joining us here in a moment. Man, she is a rock star, author, leader, been a principal a long time. TED Talk. Wow, Allyson, your TED Talk was so personal and so warm. Talking about your mom. God, it was beautiful. We're going to, it's in the chat now, friends, but we'll put it in there a couple more times. So we'll meet Allyson in a moment, but let's start with a quick word from our sponsor, IXL. We are almost halfway, friends. The assessment of your kids. Where are they? Where did they start? Where are they now? Where are they going? IXL is a great tool to learn that and know that as an educator. Here they are.
I'd like to thank IXL for sponsoring today's podcast. Over 1 million teachers use IXL in their classroom every day. IXL is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It empowers schools with complete curriculum, thousands of instructional resources, robust reporting, assessment data, and more. It saves teachers a lot of valuable time with ready-made plans aligned to the standards and the textbooks. Built-in engagement tools like custom competitions make learning fun for students. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments. And the best part, everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform, so you can simplify your EdTech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your students towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, appreciate IXL sponsoring today's podcast.
All right. Thank you for that. And again, their link is in the show notes. Click to get more information. So in learning about Allyson and looking at her work and looking at her journey, and again, I mentioned her TED Talk, serendipity is the word that she uses a lot. She writes a lot about serendipitous occasions. And here, it's a couple weeks away before 2026, right? We start to reflect. We start to think. And the definition of serendipity, right? That was the name of our college festival, Allyson, in college, right? What was going to happen. But her talks, her writings, all about looking for the good, right? That serendipity, something good is going to happen, right? And when you go into something, when you're looking for something good, and Allyson shares example after example after example of this, looking for the good that can be out there, right? When you go into a situation, right? This movie's going to stink. This show's going to stink. This meal's going to stink, right? A lot of times the outcome is what you're describing it. But when you go in with an open mind, a serendipitous mind, right? Looking for the good. In Allyson's TED Talk, she shares about the loss of her mom and the struggles there. But she found good in it. She found joy in it. And I was really moved by that. I was really inspired by that. So our opening concept here in 2026, what is going to be that serendipitous occasion for you? And how could we look at situations with serendipity, with a positive eye for something good to happen, right? It doesn't have to be super structured or super scheduled all the time. Maybe there is a serendipitous thing there that we can find the good in the work we're doing. And I would challenge you to do that. I would also challenge you to take a look at Allyson's book and her TED Talk there with it. But enough of me chatting about Allyson. Let's hear from her herself from Newark, New Jersey, right down the block here. Allyson, welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond.
Thank you so much for having me. Wow, that intro, like all the pictures and the research that you did, like
Yeah.
you are a star. Thank you
Yeah. Well,
for
I
putting
mean,
all of that together.
it was not hard to find, Allyson. You are out there. Your work is out there. Again, congratulations on all the stuff. I got a new tool from my friend George, who uses this on his podcast.
Oh,
But congratulations to you. It's an honor to have you on. What's that serendipitous thing for you right now? Maybe it's next year. What are you looking at with serendipity at this moment, Allyson?
so I have been bebopping across the country over the past couple weeks. I haven't been home since the Sunday of Thanksgiving week. So
Wow.
it's like
Wow.
Colorado. I don't even know. Where have I been? Like, I mean, I think I did go home for like 12 hours or something like that. I don't even know. But Colorado, Florida, California, Massachusetts, now New Jersey. So, and it's the holiday season, which is beautiful and magical. Really busy. Okay, did I lose you for a minute?
Yeah, I lost you. Sorry. You said about the holiday season and I lost you for a second. Yeah, sorry.
So apparently the Element internet is not that great. So I put it on my phone hotspot. So hopefully we're good now.
Okay, good. Yeah.
In the travel world, the holiday season is full of people who don't travel often. So when you travel for a living, like you have your groove, like when you're surrounded by people who travel for a living, like everybody has their groove. And that groove is disrupted during the holiday season, during spring break season, and over the summer. But I think it's just this opportunity to just pause and really like just step back from the hustle, the bustle, like people being upset because of delays or their travel experiences not going the way they want them to, and just take in like the joys of the season. So for me, it's this idea of serendipity is expecting good things. It's like traveling through life, expecting good things, even in the really hard things, knowing that there's beautiful lessons, happy accidents in everything we experience if we look for them. That's the key, is looking for those beautiful things.
Awesome. Well said there. Friends, this is Allyson Apsey. She is the Director of Client Relations. What a cool title, Allyson, for Creative Leadership Solutions. Tell me about that role. You've transitioned into this 3 years now. Tell me about that role and the work that you're doing with Creative Leadership Solutions.
Yeah, so this is my fourth school year of traveling and doing this work full time. I think I would still be a principal or maybe just a district leader if we hadn't moved in 2022 from Michigan to Georgia for this quick 2-year stint, so that what was my side hustle became my full-time job in 2022. So this is my fourth year. Again, like serendipity, right? Like we moved to Georgia for my husband's job. That didn't work out, but me transitioning into this role outside, like kind of the traditional school leadership, that's worked out. Okay, so as director of client relations, that's like what it sounds, is just developing relationships with current and prospective clients. But that's in addition to the role I have as a coach, consultant, professional development provider, keynote. Like I do all of those things, writer, like all of those things are still a big part of my life. Like I get to visit hundreds of schools, hundreds of classrooms every single year. And
Wow.
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Allyson, talk to me about that. You used to be the person in charge, right? You were the principal. Coaching's a little different. You can't just say, "Hey, here's what we're going to do." Coaching leaders, coaching schools, a little different. How have you adjusted, and how do you go about working with a team? Right? You were in New England yesterday. You're going to be in New Jersey tomorrow. How do you go in and build that relationship with that team that they trust you?
Yeah. It's so interesting because I mean, I often visit schools like I've never been there before. I have no idea how they're going to receive me. Sometimes I'm given to them by the district. Sometimes they have chosen, to work with me, but I just, in a lot of cases, I don't know. So, I'm sitting there in the parking lot or in my Uber on the way there and just thinking, okay, Allyson, if you bring light, energy, and focus, you will be a gift. So that's, what I try to do. You have to be a really good listener. You have to help the people that you're coaching, clients, get to the root of the problem so that we know the steps that we're taking forward are actually going to address the real challenges in front of us. So I think listening, being adaptable, but also being confident that we can move forward, we can make a difference. And we really need to do that collaboratively.
Yeah. And a great coach like yourself that has done the work can bring out that confidence, right? Can bring out those decisions and those presence and those leaders. So kudos to you for doing the work there.
Well,
It must be busy. I know it's busy. Yeah. Yeah. Allyson, how about you? You're traveling a lot. How are you surviving and how are you thriving right here at the end of 2025?
I'm trying to take better care of myself, physically. I know that if I get sleep, if I get exercise, if I eat right, I'm going to be able to be a much better version of myself for everyone around me. So I think I'm thriving by taking better care of myself. I'm thriving because I absolutely love this work. One of my core values is making a difference. And I want to make a difference wherever I go. I can't remember who said this, but this is a really good way to think about if you are working to identify your core values, thinking about what would you sacrifice for? And as I travel the country and work with educators all over, there's huge sacrifices there, right? As far as family time, home time, being able to sleep in my own bed, all of those things. But because I am so passionate about this opportunity to make a difference that I'm willing to make those sacrifices. Yeah. As far as surviving, I think there's just realities of being travel weary, being tired, just really listening to myself and where I am and just my energy, where I am physically and making sure that I respond to what I need. And that really helps me survive.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you again, taking care of yourself there. I loved what you said, light, energy, and focus. And you can't deliver that. You can't give that unless you're taking care of yourself first. So good for you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Allyson, another passion, you mentioned it, the writing. 8 books. Congratulations, friends. Here's her website. It's AllysonApsey.com. All the books are on Amazon, but they're also on Allyson's website. Here's the website here. Just incredible. The selection of books, the types of books. And you've written a few collaborative books.
Yeah.
Starting with my friend George Kouros. This came out last year. Is that correct?
It was April of 24. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations here. It's a tremendous book. Tell me what it was like to work with George and putting that together with the 5 pillars of effective school leadership.
Well, first of all, I have to say, I'm just trying to keep up with you. How many books do you have? We would be remiss if we didn't mention that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. But George is a mutual friend of ours, and it was funny because he contacted me. Oh my gosh, it must have been even in maybe 2022 or something, and he had this idea. George has written books where he has contributing authors. One is Because of a Teacher and Because of a Teacher Too, and he thought, well, let's do a version of Because of a Teacher, but for school leaders. And then I heard crickets, nothing from him. I was like, of course, if George asked me to work on something with him, my answer is sounding yes. And then I'm all excited. I'm telling my husband this is what we're going to do. And then months went by and I heard nothing. And George's version is that then I started bugging him about it, which I don't know if that's exactly how it went down, but he had this, this is really George's brainchild, his baby. But he read my book called Leading the Whole Teacher. And I mean, George has read a lot of my work, and he called me and he's like, do you think this is your best book? And I'm like, well, you probably think so since you're asking me that question. Yes. And he's like, this is an incredible book, Allyson. And now that I've read that, I see this kind of path forward for what makes a great principal. This combination of research, just kind of the foundation of the 5 pillars, and then stories to help us bring those pillars to life. And we have, amazing contributing authors. And George is so prolific, and, he just can whip out like chapters, in hours. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. So it was an incredible experience working alongside him and our contributing authors.
Yeah. And, the book is fantastic. Again, here it is in the chat, friends. Principals, great resource for them there. And then again, bam, that was last year. And here you are this year. This just came out, right? This fall.
Yes.
Another collaborative project, Emily Freeland. And I love the title and certainly the cover. Congratulations. Tell me about this here, Accent Research.
Okay, so we actually presented, Emily and I were in Boston together and presented at Learning Forward today.
Nice.
But yeah, so it was awesome, well received. But I want to read you the dedication, because I think this kind of gives a good summary of our purpose in writing this book. And it's for every educator who has ever left a meeting thinking we just talked in circles. May this book remind you that even the smallest step forward is worth more than the longest conversation. Take that step, because your actions have the power to change lives.
Wow. I love it. Fantastic. What was the inspiration here?
So Emily and I work together at Creative Leadership Solutions, which is the organization that was founded by Dr. Douglas Reeves, who is an incredible educational researcher, lives in Boston. And Doug has really kind of led the way with this whole concept of let's move forward with helping educators try something. So this idea of like try-in rather than buy-in. Like, we don't need to be salespeople. We don't need to wait for 100% consensus or until everybody agrees that this is the right thing to do. We can just say, hey, let's give this a try. Let's see how it works. What works, what doesn't work. Maybe we'll abandon it. Or maybe we'll find that there are important components of this that will help us move student learning forward. So it's just this whole concept of giving something a fair try rather than trying to sell people on this is the one thing that is going to change everything. Because we know there's no product out there that is the answer. There's no program out there that is the answer. It's really about people, and it's really about practices. So action research allows us to focus on the people who are experiencing tremendous success, experiencing challenges, and then the practices that we can put into place to address those challenges. And because the other idea is, we spend a lot of time analyzing where things are going wrong. Like, we look at student data and we look at, oh my gosh, like 3rd grade reading proficiency is at 47%. Everybody else is at 60%. What's going on with 3rd grade? So we look at the data, but we don't always look at the adult actions that cause the data. We don't even know the adult actions that cause the data. And I spent 19 years as a principal of all levels. So like guilty as charged. And then the other thing we don't know is, where are these pockets of excellence? And then what is causing that success? First of all, it's about identifying those pockets of excellence. And I would say every school I visit, even the ones with, 10% proficiency if they're lucky, right? There are pockets of excellence within the walls of the school. Most of the answers to the challenges our students face with their learning lie within the walls of our school. We just have to uncover them and then understand what is causing that success. And then, like, how do we scale that success? Because because we talk to teachers and who are outstanding. Like you walk into their classroom and it is like magical energy. Students are motivated, engaged. You look at the assessment results and you're like, whoa, like what is going on here? You ask the teachers and they're like, I don't know, like, what works for me might not work for everyone. And do you have sound?
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. We got that for you. I'm
Okay.
working on my. Where is it? Yeah, we got. Ready? It's not an It's a.
So if it works for you with your schedule, with your curriculum resources, with your population, with your community, with your the support staff, if it works in your classroom, it is going to work in the classroom next door. It might look a little different because there's that art of teaching, but those strategies will work in the classroom next door. So it's our job, and we talk a lot about it in the book, and we have this process and methodology for how do we uncover these pockets of excellence, how do we determine what's causing the success, and then how do we scale it.
Well, here it is, friends. It just came out. Again, congratulations, Allyson and Emily. Good stuff there. Again, stories, action research, and the practical strategies. And you're right. If it is working there, it can work somewhere else. And it's you coaching those leaders. It's you doing the work there. Yeah.
Yes.
Allyson, this is great. You are presenting. You are speaking. You are traveling. You are writing. You're doing the work here. It's incredible. How do you actually do the writing? There's a lot of leaders that want to write. They don't know where to go. They don't think their stuff is good enough. How do you actually do it? What's your process?
I love that. So there's been, because like with each book, it's been a little bit of a different process, but you first have to have an idea, right? Mm-hmm. Like we all want to make a difference. We all want to leave a legacy, but we have to have something we want to write about. And so for me, my first book was The Path to Serendipity. And what I did is with George's influence, I started a blog in 2015 that I thought nobody would ever read. And I called it Serendipity in Education. And I was asking my secretary at the school, I'm like, is this cheese too cheesy? She's like, no, it's so you, just go for it. So I was so appreciative of her encouragement. But people started connecting with the blog posts I was writing and reading them. And I'm like, okay, I want to write a book, and I don't know if anybody's going to publish it, but even if just my sons, who are now 19 and 23, even if just they read it, even if just their families read it, it's worth putting in this effort and writing the book. And so I had it almost written when I sent it to Dave and Shelley Burgess. And I thought, they're going to be like, this is cheesy, Allyson. This is we're not interested in this serendipity book. But I got the email that said, we want to publish it. And I was like, oh, what? Yes. Yes. It was one of those moments that joy beyond our imagination. Right. But I think that whole concept is we have to nurture and develop this idea. So one of the things I recommend, and a lot of people recommend, is present on your idea.
Yeah.
Put together a session and see what people connect with, mm-hmm. and what people might challenge. I was able to do that with the blog because people would push back on me with some of the ideas that I put out there. But Jessica Gomez and I, we wrote a book called Lead with Collaboration about staff meeting ideas. And we put in a proposal at NAESP and presented on it. And we didn't think anybody would think, much of it, because this is kind of stuff that just came naturally to us, and people loved it. And so then we presented again and again, and we're like, we have something here. Let's put these ideas together in a book. And so I guess that's my encouragement of what is your message? That's what you have to develop first.
Yeah. I've heard Dave talk about that, right? Is it the book? And then a presentation comes from it, or is it the presentation that builds towards it? So, and the ideas, though, right? Are you on the elliptical and you think of it? Are you walking out of a classroom and you think of it? How do you capture the ideas and say, yeah, I like that? Do they just pop in your head? Where do you get the ideas from?
My work with educators.
Yeah.
That is, and it was the ideas were, my experiences as a teacher and as a principal. And now, the work that I get to do with schools all over, like they generate the ideas. It's funny. My dad, he watches the news like nonstop all day long. And you're gonna put a boo, do a boo.
Yeah, I'm looking for the right noise here. I don't know, maybe this.
Yeah, so watch out.
Or maybe this one.
He'll tell me like, oh, Allyson, are you headed to, Washington State this week because there's something going on. I'm like, no, Dad, I'm not going anywhere near that. It's going to be okay. But my dad is like, I hear all of this stuff going on in education, right? And there's many challenges at the federal government level. Many states are having challenges at the state government level, even local government level. Like there are significant challenges facing educators. And my dad's like, okay, how is that impacting your experiences? I'm like, Dad, like I'm filled with hope every single day because of the educators I'm working with. They are in the schools doing the hard work. They're not sitting at home watching the news all day long. They're like looking in the eyes of their students and figuring out, how can I serve these students better and better and better? And I have not, even with the thousands of educators that I've been able to work with, I've never met one who is in the job to mess kids up. Every educator is in the job because they're passionate about supporting students. And we have to believe that about our educators, because they're not going to rise to the occasion unless we believe in them.
Yeah. Well said there. And it's true. You're right. And it's people like you that are bringing that up because they get pushed down, they get negative talked about.
Yes.
And you're out there doing that work. So good job there. Allyson, in terms of, again, the ideas, right? And then it leads to a presentation, which could lead to a book. Your TED Talk was related to a lot of things, very personal, but also that theme of serendipity, right? And you connected serendipitous and the story of your mom. Tell me about that, the idea, the serendipity. Tell me about that. And friends, I'm going to put it in the chat. I highly recommend you watch Allyson's TED Talk. It was very well done. You were excellent there and talking about such a personal topic. Tell me about that experience for you.
Yeah, thank you. I was tapped on the shoulder to consider doing a TED Talk in this community. And so I was fortunate enough to get some coaching, because usually when you're doing a TEDx, there's a committee and they will give you feedback on your TED Talk. So they really supported me in making sure that there was some strong takeaways. Like the story is moving, right? But what do we do with stories? Like stories aren't enough. We have to have takeaways. And that is my guidance or advice. If you are doing a session, a keynote, whatever you're doing, like we need to give educators something that they can go and apply right away, because we don't have time to waste. And that was part of my planning and what I tried to deliver in the TEDx. And it was nerve-wracking. It was exciting. My children, driving in the car with me to school, they're like, Mom, can you please stop rehearsing that over and over? They were like so over it, but they were proud of me and enjoy watching it. And they even like share it with their friends, that's such cool feedback. So, and like, if anybody who's listening watches the TED Talk, and if you look at the comments, they're very positive, which is lovely. But once in a while you get, some kind of negative comment. But as far as I know, I haven't looked lately, but the only negative comment on there is Allyson doesn't know the definition of serendipity. Because because I get what those people are talking about. They might be like, true, serendipity advocates. And if we're looking for these happy accidents, is it really serendipity, right? But when you are a writer, you're an artist and you get to make stuff up as you're an artist, right? Like you get to take it in whatever direction you want. And like, I didn't develop this idea of like this serendipity mindset on my own. I developed it alongside my 7th and 8th grade students, because I was teaching a character education class that I called Serendipity because I had just seen the movie starring John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale. And I was teaching them this character education class. And I thought, if I called it character education, like they're going to roll their eyes as they come in the door. So my goal was to trick them and call it Serendipity. And it was alongside them that we were like, wait a minute, like what if we looked for these beautiful lessons, these happy accidents, and just like walked through life, assuming that all of these experiences, like from joys beyond our imagination, like when I got that email about, publishing my first book, to our deepest sorrows, like, losing my mom, and then everything in between. What if they offer us these beautiful gifts or lessons or opportunities to become better versions of ourselves? What if we believed that? Like, wouldn't we live more fulfilled, happier, more richer lives? And the answer, of course, is yes. But it was alongside these brilliant, stinky 7th and 8th graders that I learned that lesson.
Yeah. And well, the way you turned it into the talk about your mom, your writings, the journal, all of it really is a pretty cool theme there. Did the writings come before the talk, or did the talks kind of help generate the writing?
I think The Path to Serendipity was already published, because I think I did the TEDx in 2019.
Okay.
So I think The Path to Serendipity came out in 2018. So I had other books on the way already. So the TEDx came a little bit after the writing, which was helpful because like you organize your thoughts as you develop a session, as you write an outline for a book, as you write a blog post. Like that's all about organizing your thoughts. And when you deliver a TEDx or any kind of keynote, you have to deliver it in an organized kind of fashion in order for people to really hang on to the message.
Yeah, I agree with that. Someone told me after one of my talks, Andrew, I loved it, but I really don't know what it was about. And I said, yeah, okay, buddy, I gotta dial it back. That was
there's feedback, right? Yes.
I really don't know what it was about. Allyson, I've asked you a lot of questions. What's something else that you want to talk about, though? What's something that's on your mind now?
Well, one thing that, and I talked about this today at our Learning Forward session, and you may be seeing this in your school also, is that educators are feeling a little hopeless. The work that I get to do is like, what's the data saying today? What change can we put into place today that will make a difference tomorrow? That's how we develop hope. So even like the science of hope teaches us that there's 3 ways that we can create hope in our lives. One is by setting and accomplishing micro goals. So if we together can set and accomplish a micro goal, we're going to develop our sense of self-efficacy, like our belief in our ability to make positive change. And another word for self-efficacy is hope. So that's one way. The second way is expressing gratitude. So you can do that in whatever way you want. If it's like, if I feel you're a noise, we got noise.
That was good. I don't know if it, it was just, but
there we go. I like that
one. Absolutely. Yes.
I had the opportunity to be an educator wellness coach. And so I'm working
with a lot of cool titles of your jobs.
I was working with people who identified like they're feeling hopeless and looking at leaving our profession. And one of the things that I often coach them to do is to leave a little notebook in their car. And at the end of the day, pull out that notebook and just jot down. It doesn't have to be complete sentences, but jot down 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And they shared that was really life-changing for them. And then, so that's the second. And then the third thing is acts of kindness. Because when we share kindness, we're not just helping someone else, we're helping ourselves. So there's that mutual benefit. And we really need to give educators an opportunity to help each other. We need to support that. I see principals running around like with chickens with their heads cut off, setting up snack carts, setting up treats in the lounge. And when I talk to educators, they're not like, I love my principal because he gives us treats all the time. They're like, I love my principal because he's so supportive. When I have an idea, the go-to answer is yes. My principal shows love for the work and for his job and always has time for us. Those are the things that teachers appreciate about their principals, not the treats. So instead of principals running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to deliver all of these treats and build the community, help create a structure for everyone to support each other. Like have teachers sign up for that snack cart and you go sub in their room and have a teacher bring it around. That ignites hope. And we need to give our teachers, especially our new ones, an opportunity to display those acts of kindness and help each other so that they can ignite hope also.
There's Allyson, not only explaining it, giving you the strategies and giving you the action research that goes with it. That's the whole book. That's the whole thing in a short little story there. It's also an acronym, Allyson. Hold on, possibilities exist. And you're right. We have to give educators hope. The holidays are here. It's hard for some people, but the new year brings that. So keep up the work you're doing, and that's great. I love the three things there, and I know you like the sound. So let's. It's not a gong here, but those three got me going. Got my heart going.
Oh yes.
Friends, this is Allyson Apsey. Jump in the chat, say hello. She's traveling now, gracious to give us some time here. Allyson, what are you looking forward to most in 2026? What do what's something that I don't believe in resolutions, but what's something that you got your eye on or something that you're going to be working on in 2026?
I don't believe in resolutions either. But what I do instead is I create a New Year's playlist of songs. So that just help me be in the mindset that I want to be in order to, be the best I can for my family, for friends, for everyone that I'm serving. But this year I turned 50 in 2026. No, it's kind of crazy. So I'm not worried about looking older, being older, but it is it's made me look at my own mortality. And I'm reading a book. I'm going to look it up what it's called, but it's actually kind of scary. But it has us face our own, it's called Outlive, and it's by Peter Atala and Bill Gifford, I think. And it just talks about what can we do to not only live longer, but to have longer quality of life. So, just focusing on taking care of myself while I'm taking care of everyone around me.
Well, here's welcome to 50. All of a sudden, everything started hurting. I turned 50 this summer. I got this pain in my, I like what? So get one of these, right?
Okay.
Right? Okay. George wrote a great blog, 50 things at 50 that I actually republished on my 50th birthday. That was excellent. Yes. So definitely check that out. Allyson, we got to get rolling here. I know you have a busy day tomorrow, but this was a lot of fun here. Real quick, this is a quick one. Give me three things every day in schools leaders should. Three things. Bam.
Get into classrooms.
Yeah.
Ask teachers what challenges they're facing rather than just say, how are you every morning, and kneel down, get on the level of kids. I mean, if you're a secondary principal, I have to stand on my toes, but eye level with kids and ask them what's going well for them. What challenges are they facing?
Another great answer, Allyson. This was fun. Let's get rapid fire here. These are quick answers. Are you ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Last movie you saw.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I watch movies on the screen on the back of the planes all the time. Oh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Did you?
Yes.
Was it on someone else's screen or you were watching?
It was my screen.
I'm a cross watcher. I watch across. I'm trying to,
Yes.
I've watched the Tom Cruise one. It's on everybody's screen. I'm watching it all the time. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Last concert you went to?
Um, oh, it's No Chaser. It's an a cappella group, but it's something before that.
Okay.
I watched. It was like a holiday, something No Chaser. I feel bad. I can't remember the
Okay.
name. But it was
That's all
good.
right. Did Lane and Tyson go with you, or is this just you and Jim?
Just me and Jim. Yes. Oh, I
Okay.
did go to a concert with them for Tyson's 19th birthday, and that was Cage the Elephant in a group called Hey Nothing. And George is like, Allyson, you're a little old for there, a little old for this conference, but it was really fun, and they wanted us to be there. That was really cool.
That's nice. Yeah, bring mom along for the thing. Absolutely. Your favorite dish?
I really like shrimp and grits.
Ooh, well, you live in Georgia now, or did you move back? You still in Georgia?
I moved back.
You did move back. Got
I'm
it.
in
Okay.
Michigan. I'm never leaving again.
Yeah, Elmira, Michigan. Yeah.
Yes.
What's your go-to? Let me ask you this: trying to be healthy, trying to eat healthy on the road. What's your go-to like takeout ordering on the road? If you get something quick, where you go to?
I like Chick-fil-A, their grilled nuggets
Grilled
and
nuggets.
their macaroni and cheese. And then you get
Okay.
buffalo sauce and you mix it all together. And it's low calorie, high protein, delicious.
Yeah. So you can't get it on Sunday.
No, right.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the grilled nuggets as well. Your go-to stress reliever?
Walking, just taking a walk. Yeah.
Get those steps in.
Yes.
Michigan is fill in the blank.
Snowy and cold right now. I live in northern Michigan, so we have like about 2 feet of snow already, and it's not going to go away until the spring, like end of March, beginning of April. So it just stays.
Wow.
In our snowbanks last year were taller than me for months.
Wow. So like when you say northern Michigan, that's not above Traverse City.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I live so like this is Detroit over here, Grand Rapids over here,
Yeah.
Traverse City here. I live like right there.
Okay. So you
Like
way up there.
An hour from the bridge to the Upper Peninsula.
Which goes to, and where's Mackinac? Where's that?
That's between the two peninsulas. Or Mackinac City is like where you get the bridge. Mackinac Island is between the upper and lower peninsulas.
We had such a great visit there. That's a great area. So do you fly out of Traverse City, or you go down to Detroit?
No, I fly out of Traverse City. It's just a cute little airport. I mean, I have to have a connection everywhere.
You got to connect. Yeah.
But it's worth it. Traverse City is a lovely spot. My husband's like, quit telling people about Northern Michigan. It's like a secret.
Hey, it's in the guy's song. He talks about it in the song, the Rock. Kid Rock. I mean, it's not a secret anymore. I've been to that. The thing on Traverse. Yeah, that's awesome. Allyson, you shared a lot of passions: writing, educators, inspiration. What's a pet peeve of yours?
When people say our kids can't do this, like especially like our kids can't write. So my question back is, what can they do? Like, show me their writing. Like, okay, they're putting letters on the page. That's something. We have some sentence or we have some words on the page. Like when we just expect too little from our kids over and over and over again have shown us that they can rise to our expectations. And I feel like the same is the case for teachers. Like they expect a lot of themselves, and they deserve us to expect a lot of them, except with the support that's necessary. We have a district full of people who are there to take care of our kids. We have just a few people who are there to take care of our teachers, and we need to do that for them.
Well said there. Big sports state, Michigan. I know you're a Michigan State fan. But who's your sports team? Yeah, who's your sports team?
The Lions.
Okay.
NFL.
Is this the year? Is this the year? I mean, they've been right there.
No. I mean, no. It's not happening. We thought it was going to happen last year, and then they, didn't even get as far in the playoffs as they did the year before. So, I mean, honestly, as a Lions fan, just to have hope to win a game is enough for us because it's been so dismal for, decades. So we're just happy that they put on a show for us actually right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So Thanksgiving morning, you're busy. You're
Oh
there.
yeah. Every
Yeah.
Sunday we watch the Lions games in our pole barn on a projector screen, and
Oh,
the
wow.
whole family, my in-laws come over. We don't eat our meal until afterward because everybody has to be watching and not cooking. So yeah, it's fun.
Awesome. Something about Allyson Apsey that people do not know about.
I like to sing karaoke.
Ooh, what's your go-to song? It's an all-star karaoke event. What's your all-star song?
It would be like probably a Jewel song, like "You Were Meant for Me."
Oh.
Yeah, something like that. I
Can you
had
sing?
an opportunity to go to karaoke last night, but because I was getting ready for the presentation, I was very
Yeah.
responsible and didn't go. But it was like pulling at my heartstrings.
Got to take care of yourself on the road.
Yes.
Yeah. I've retired karaoke. No more Kenny Rogers, the gambler. I'm done. I retire.
Well, until we're together at some conference, then maybe I can convince you.
I used to do a duet, Islands in the Stream.
Ooh.
You're going to have to bring me out of retirement. That's going to be hard. That would be hard.
We can do it.
That would be hard. Give me a quote, Allyson. You dropped a lot of knowledge here. This was fantastic. But give me a quote to end the show.
So this is one of our favorite quotes, and I think it's in Less Talk, More Action, but it's attributed to Theodore Roosevelt, and it is about taking action. So in a time of decision, the best thing to do is the right thing. The next best thing to do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing to do is nothing. And we so often keep talking about the same things and don't do anything about it. And it's time to take action.
I like that. Teddy's got a bunch of quotes out there, so there's another great one. Allyson, we got to run here on the podcast. I see your tag there. You're on social media. Is that your main kind of tag there?
Yep, at Allyson Apsey, everywhere except TikTok, at Allyson Apsey 19.
Got it. And don't spell her name wrong like I did. Here's her website. Once again, Allyson Apsey. It's in the chat. Friends, leave Allyson a positive comment and certainly check out her books. Congratulations on your most recent and certainly these great collaborations that you're doing out there. We appreciate you, Allyson.
Thank you. And you are appreciated. Like this podcast and what you're doing, it takes hard work. So thank you for elevating the voices of educators and for sharing your passion and expertise.
Yeah, I feel blessed. I heard a great quote recently. They said, "Don't ask to be blessed. Ask to be a blessing." Right? And doing a podcast with you, right? It's a blessing, and we can share with other people. And that, like you said on the show, it fills up yourself and it inspires you. So I feel blessed to be able to do a show and meet great guests like you. Thanks to George Kuros for connecting us, and certainly safe travels tomorrow on your journey, and good luck in Newark tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
All right, friends, check out Allyson's work. Allyson, stay on the line a second, and we are going to sign off on the podcast. Keep surviving and thriving, friends.